Hello, we are from Group 2 in Class B, consisting Ilham Chayanugraha, Dera Fitra Patobari, and Tasya Ulia Putri. And today, we'll be presenting on article titled Hegemony and Authority in Health, the World Health Organization, Indonesian Online News Coverage on the COVID-19 Pandemic by Andriani 2023. This study examines how the WHO's authority and hegemony are represented in Indonesian online media during the pandemic. So the main thesis of the argument in this article is the article argues that Indonesian media coverage of the pandemic reinforces the WHO's authority and hegemony, portraying it as a central actor in global health discourse. While this enhances credibility, it also raises concerns about potential misuse of power, such as promoting specific vaccine brands.
All right, the first one is macrostructure level. At the macrostructure level, the study identifies the WHO as a dominant global topic in news reports, appearing in 62.22% of macro proposition. The narrative revolves around the WHO actions, statements, and guidelines, positioning it as the central authority in managing the pandemic. For example, in one article, the WHO sets a minimum positivity rate of less than 5%, reinforcing its role as a global health policymaker. So the WHO is portrayed as the protagonist in the narrative, with its authority shaping the flow of information. The second one is superstructure. The article follows clear problem solution superstructure common in news reports. The problem is the global health crisis caused by the pandemic, and the solution is the WHO's guidelines and recommendation as a solution to manage the crisis. For example, article discuss the WHO's warnings about new variants or its advice or expanding Pfizer vaccine usage for children aged 5 to 11. This structure reinforces the WHO's authoritative role, presenting its statement as credible and necessary solution to the pandemic.
At the microstructural level, the study focused on how language reinforces the WHO authority in health discourse. For example, the directive tone. Press like WHO recommends, WHO warns, establish a directive tone. For example, WHO ingatkan terus-terusan suntik vaksin booster tidak bisa hentikan pandemi. This position the WHO as a guiding authority in public health actions. And the next is WHO as a subject. The WHO is frequently the subject of the sentences, reinforcing its central roles. This highlights the WHO as the primary decision makers in health matters. Next is passive voice for government response. Passive construction with an alternative perspective. This shift focus on the WHO standards rather than local authorities agency. And the last is thematizations. The WHO is the topical theme in 55.56% of sentences. For example, the WHO calls for the use of a Pfizer vaccine for children aged 5 to 11 years to be expanded. Placing the WHO at the start of the sentences reinforces its centrality. These linguistic choices, directive tone, subject positioning, passive voice, and thematization reinforce the WHO dominance and legitimacy in authority in health discourse. Overall, the article highlights how Indonesian media reinforces the WHO authority through macrostructure, superstructure, and microstructure analysis. The WHO is portrayed as the central actors in pandemic management. Its guidelines shaping the narrative. Discuss the implication of the article. While this reinforces the credibility of information, it also raises concerns about the potential of misuse power, such as promoting specific vaccine brands for overshadowing local voices. Future research could be explored deeper social implications and extend the analysis to other contexts or media platforms. That's from our group. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.